Welcome back to Ghana Money King Kong, where we give you tips, tools, and deals for you to be able to stay safe and save money in Ghana. But we've seen that now we're doing more than we set off to do. It's getting interesting, and we really appreciate all of you who come online, and all of you who've subscribed, and all of you who is keeping the conversation going. Today I want us to, because ever since we put out this year of return 2019 out there, there's been a lot of questions and people have come online. There's a whole lot of uncertainty as to what's happening, what is going to happen, what is the process, how do I get to Ghana? And we've been trying to cover this for a couple of videos now, but then you realize that there's still more questions that people have and people want to know. So I know it might be early for people, it might be late for some people, but we just wanted to come online so that we could be able to see if there's more that people still want to know. And then we do have a program lineup for next year, which we would want to discuss. I mean, just take people through, and then possibly so that people will understand what is out there in Ghana coming 2019. So just a quick background for this year of return 2019 is that, yes, the president of Ghana made an announcement a couple of months ago that people in all over the world who are African descent can come to Ghana, and they can come to Ghana not just to come for events or just to come for festival, but they can actually come to Ghana, and if they want to stay in Ghana, they can actually find a home in Ghana and live in Ghana, which is quite exciting because you realize that after this declaration, the interest in people who want to come has increased. People are asking questions. We ourselves have managed to form very interesting groups, which I will share the link after this video if you want to join. And it's just bringing people from all over the world together. We have people in America, people in Canada, people in the UK, people in some parts of Africa who are getting involved in good conversations that we believe would be able to help all of us. So if you're interested, you can definitely join this WhatsApp group, and then you can get the conversation going. So basically this year of return, it's an opportunity, and we do get people who come and leave comments on the page, and sometimes it's very negative, I would say, but I understand it's their opinion and it's the way they feel. So we encourage people to definitely comment and then share what they feel. But we need to remind ourselves that this is only an invitation. This is an invitation by a head of state who wants people who are interested to come to Ghana to come. And the interesting thing is, sometimes it's looked as if we or people in Africa are not aware of what went on, or we are not aware of history. Honestly, we are aware of history, and we know the challenges and the difficulties that people in the diaspora have faced over time. History hasn't been good to all of us. And so when the rhetoric and when the conversation goes, and it's as if we've lived comfortably in Africa and abandoned our brothers and sisters elsewhere, for us it gets very disheartening. But that is not the conversation anyway. So what we are saying is, people who come to leave messages, and sometimes it gets a bit insulting and a bit trying to be aggressive. We come with love, and we are encouraging people to come to Ghana with love. And so that is the focus of this whole journey, and that is the focus of this whole invitation. If you are interested, if you are really interested to come to Ghana, and it's challenging, it's difficult, sometimes change is very difficult, and we understand people have built their livelihoods for years somewhere, and then suddenly there's this declaration, and it's as if it's so juicy, it's so nice for you to just come. What I want to say is, just look at it this way. This is a new environment. This is a new family. This is a new society, a new culture that is giving an opportunity for you to just come and see if you would enjoy it, for you to just come and see if you want to be part of it, for you to just come and see if it is something different that you would enjoy. It is not going to stop you from keeping your original or your current citizenship or your current being American or Canadian or being Swedish. It's not going to stop you from being who you are. This is a new culture. This is Ghana saying that, yes, we've realized that we've waited so long. We've realized that this could have been done years back, but now we want you to come and take your rightful place. I believe this is just nice, and it is just something that I'm encouraging people to be able to take up this, and the conversation that we are having on our various platforms and the discussions that's coming up. You realize that there is potential. We have people who have got so much potential, and Ghana and Africa will benefit. It's amazing that the skill set that people have and the knowledge that people have who are in United States, who are in Canada, who are in the various all over the world. It will be valuable for you to come to Ghana. I would say that. So yes, thank you very much for coming, Shirley. Shirley is saying it's a trap. Africa is selling itself to Chinese and the Brits again. Don't go. So I mean, this is a typical comment and a typical conversation that is going out on our platform. And so for some reason, it looks as if people feel that coming back to Africa or coming back to Ghana is a trap. I honestly don't understand why you feel that it's a trap when people are already expressing concern about where they are currently, and people have got their opinions. It doesn't, I mean, and I keep repeating it, it's only an invitation. We don't want people to get us wrong. Some of us trying to invite or trying to get this push. It's only an invitation. If you take it that way, then you'll be able to discuss. You'll be able to look at yourself. If you're happy where you are currently, of course, it means that you should be happy and stay. But then let us say again, there's nothing wrong for you to come and see what is out there and see where you can plug yourself and see if you can have something different from where you currently having. There's nothing wrong with that. So there's somebody who's also come online, and yes, thank you for joining. He says there is no choice for Black people but Africa. There you go. That's an opinion. There is no way for Black people except Africa. You can have your own idea about it. You can have your own, you know, this is how good the world has become, that people have got their own opinions. Freedom of speech, you can think whatever you want to think. But for me, I see there is nothing special than being part of a society where you wake up in the morning and all you see are people that you are like them, you know. I mean, we're not against anybody, not at all. We welcome everybody, and Ghana is a society that's got people that's from different races, different backgrounds. the fact is, we cannot run away from how the world is now. And so if people who are so worried about the fact that the Chinese are in Ghana, the Chinese are in Africa, the Chinese are wherever, the point is, you need to understand where you are currently. Where do you live now? Are the Chinese not there? Where you live now? Who hasn't traveled? All over the world, people from different backgrounds are there. And ask yourself, why and what are the reasons? If you really understand the economics of this world, then you appreciate how far the world has gone. What you need to do, if you feel that the Chinese or other parts of the world are trying to get into Africa, the onus lies on you. And that is what we are trying to do. We feel that we can build ourselves capacity-wise. We can start from how we can generate a common platform, a common fund, a common organization where we can have ownership. If you can join us for us to be able to do that, and it's not compulsory. If we can come together as a group, as a society, where we know that now this is the way we have to go. People are trying to get into our land, and it's our land because you and I belong there, and it's our land. And if we can find a way to then capitalize on this communal group ownership, that is the way to be able to stop the things that we don't want. Just speaking about it, just talking about it without action doesn't get us anywhere. And that is where the conversation has to go. I mean, I know that a lot of people have got so much information and so much that's going on online about Africa and what is Africa, how Africa can be changed. And there's so much information out there. From my personal opinion and from the way I see the conversation going on our platform and the way I see people from the diaspora, Black people from all over the world, and the way they want to come back home, I see that the best option is how we can collaborate as African descent from all over the world. And most especially, how we can get the locals in Africa, the locals in Ghana, to join in a form of a partnership. Then we can grow. So let's see some of the comments. Shirley Reynolds again, he says, look at what the governments are doing. It's the same as Mr. They are putting up hundreds of Chinese police stations. I mean, these are going on social media. It's not happening in my country. It's not happening in Ghana, and I can't speak towards it. But people have got their own decisions and they have their own ways of why these things are happening. But to be honest with you, it's not something that I'll be able to comment on there. And then she says again, they sure they are behind the scenes. As soon as that's made clear here in America is going down, we will not stand for it. That is what I'm saying. If you don't want to stand for this, you can't live somewhere and then talk about that, something that you want to stop. You need to get involved. You need to get involved. And if you have any positive ideas, if you think you have something different that you want to share, you have something different that you want to be able to bring on board, you are the type of person we need. And let me tell you what, there's a lot of people who have got so much ideas and so much what you maybe, I wouldn't say prejudice or whatever, but sometimes if you start discussion, sometimes if you have a conversation, sometimes if you start talking to other people who've got different ideas, you realize that maybe you are wrong or maybe yours was different. And so we can only encourage people and we can only share what we feel we feel would help. And so, I mean, guys, it's Ghana has been ready for so long, and if this time the push is on, if this time the government is giving its backing, if this time we are all trying to say you can come, then maybe people are speaking about the fact that it's not a coincidence, it's not a coincidence that this is happening at this time. And if you read around and the number of people who are talking about this, that you can see that there's something that's pushing this whole agenda. And I myself happen to be in a situation whereby I see that, yes, this is not a coincidence. There's something that's I didn't set up to do this, but for some reason I can see this being a sort of a call. And as far as I live now, as far as I can talk about, I would encourage people to be able to do the same. And yes, people are saying that it's a trap. I mean, who want to trap people coming to Ghana? I mean, what are we going to do to you? What are we going to do? You can come, people come and go anytime. Ghanaians leave Ghana and they go and live somewhere. Ghanaians leave Ghana and they go and live in other parts of the world. So it's a way of trying to get us unified. And then yes, Daniel Carl says the unification of continents is a must. Yes, it is a must. We cannot run away from that. We cannot run away from trying to build a sort of a network, trying to find synergy between ourselves all over the world. And if we can't do that, if we can't even understand ourselves in that manner, then you realize that the fight has been long lost. Because I mean, there's one thing that I've realized recently, and maybe it's something that we can think about. We would be able to have a conversation around it. And that is, I think I mentioned it before, that is, ever since I was growing up in Ghana, and I will share this personally, and maybe you guys would really understand how Africans, people like myself, the way we see other descendants or other African descents all over the world. When we were growing up, we grew up without a knowledge and a commitment to our brothers and sisters all over the world. That is a fact. We did not grow up. Nobody. History was not told properly. Yes, we learned about slave trade. Yes, we learned about colonialism. Yes, we learned about a lot of things. But the way I've come to understand it now was never told. It was never told to us. We did not even see people living out of Ghana as our brothers and sisters. That is a fact. And so generations has come. We've now understood how the interrelationships are. We've now seen that as long as you are Black, you are an African. We've now understood that we need them as the same way as they need us. And so that is where the conversation needs to go from now. And even if you come to Ghana now, and even if if you travel to Ghana now, there are still occasions where people will even see you as a foreigner. Some of us grew up, and when we see our fellow Black people, when we see our fellow African Americans who come from the Caribbean or other parts of the world, and because of the way they speak English, because of the way they can't understand our language, you might even be called as Obroni. And Obroni is purely means that you are a Westerner. You are a white person. You understand? And so this is how we grew up with. We grew up with not a lot of knowledge about the bond that we have with other Black people or other African descents across the world. And this is where we need to change. This is where we need to be able to have a conversation and take it forward. I keep repeating it. History hasn't been good to us anyway. And if we keep standing in that position, whereby there's so much aggression, there's so much hatred, there's so much confusion about what Africans would do to other descendants who come to Africa, then we will not be able to move ahead. And so this year of return is only an opportunity to be able to have this discussion. And on our part, what we are trying to do, and I hope we'll be able to do that, it's not just going to be an eventful occasion or an eventful year, but it would be something that will be sustainable for us to be able to move beyond that visit. Afterwards, we would be able to take the conversation as to how we can support people, how we can get people who want to stay in Ghana, how we can get people who want to come. And we had a conversation yesterday with our group, and something came up, and it was so touching that supposing somebody who live in the United States, and that person is possibly wants to come to Ghana, but he or she doesn't have money. She's basically he or she probably might be on benefits, and they want to make a move. How can we support such people? Supposing we are able to get an organization, we are able to build ourselves into having a fund where we can dip in, where we'll be able to support people like that. How amazing can this be? I know that there are people out there who will see this as a call, who will see this as something that they can support. And so that is what we are doing as a group. That is what we set up to do, and we are encouraging people to be able to come on board. And we don't want people who will be pessimistic. We don't want people who come and create confusion. But we want like-minded people who feel that this is right. This is the way to go. And I see that for some of us, it's a call that we really want to push. So I'm gonna share with you that yes, I know that people are trying to have a conversation. They want to chat, because if you read at some of the messages, and if you read at some of the comments, that people feel that it's not a good idea, then I think that maybe we haven't been able to send the right message across. And so yes, Shirley Reynolds, again, I know we know that maybe you have a lot that you are not happy about, but maybe we need to take the conversation a bit further. We need to start looking at it from a different angle, and I'm happy that you are on here. Maybe over time you might be able to understand where we come from. So next year, 2019, this is what's there for people who want to come to Ghana. So the year of return, it's a year-long program. So from January to December, there's going to be a lot of events, a lot of occasions, a lot of programs that has been lined up for people who want to come. And so the Ministry of Tourism and the Ghana Tourism Authority, they've come up with I think it's a proposed program, and it's something that I want to share with you guys today. So in January, there's going to be a musical festival, which is been tabled as This is New Africa. So it's got a Tina Festival musical concert, and so that musical concert will happen in January. So if you're going to be in Ghana in January, just look out for that. And in February, it's the theme is Back to Africa. Back to Africa. There's definitely going to be a series of conferences, a series of workshops that's going to happen out there. And I feel that, hey, it depends on whatever time that you want to be there. You can get involved, get the conversation going, and you feel that yes, you are back home. Then in March, that is because Ghana's independence is the 6th of March. So the whole March is Ghana Independence Day celebration. And we all know what happens if you've been to Ghana, Independence Day. It's a fantastic day. It's a fantastic event. It's a fantastic atmosphere. People from all over the world come. And Ghana being one of the first country out of the sub-Saharan Africa that had independence, we've celebrated 6th of March as a public holiday. And you have people from all over Africa that comes to support us, people from various backgrounds, and it's a good occasion. And in April is the Heritage Paragliding, and I mean there's the paragliding industry is picking up in Ghana. So it's a parachute base, but then it's for civilians, and so there is that event happens down. It happens on the mountains in the eastern part of Ghana, and it's an amazing event. People are getting involved every time this is happening, and it's turning out to be one of the most eventful programs that's happening in Ghana nowadays. So yes, in April there's a paragliding event that you can get yourself involved. Bring the whole family there, and then test yourself. There's going to be a gospel rock show in May. Various gospel artists that's gonna perform in various events that will happen. There is a homecoming summit in June, so that this is like a conference where it will invite people from the diaspora, people from maybe the business world, people from the entertainment world, people from all over works of art and industry to come in the summit to have a discussion with the government and see how we can take things take things forward. I feel that these type of summits has been happening a couple of times, and it looks as if whenever it happens, we don't get a conclusion, and we are not able to see where we go from here. I hope that this time around, people will come with all their questions, people will come with all their ideas, because I think that the Ghanaian leadership need to understand how you guys feel. The Ghanaian leadership need to understand how people in the diaspora feel, and how people in the diaspora want to be able to come and settle in Ghana. And I think that conversation needs to happen, and people need to come on board and then have that discussion. The Panavest and Emancipation is in June, which is an amazing event. We've had it for a lot of years, and it's going to be amazing this time around because of the 400 years since the slavery was abolished. And I think there's a pack full of events on that event. There's going to be in August, there's going to be the Great Pilgrimage, Jamestown to Jamestown, Charlotte Festival. I mean, amazing summer events all over across the country, and you have to be there. We have the World Tourism Day in September that will coincide with this event. The Ghana Carnival is going to happen in November. Then we have the Afrochella. That's going to be a musical arts and culture event. That's going to be amazing. All that we are saying is these events are there. And apart from that, there's a lot of sightseeing events that you can get involved in Ghana. If you've watched what happens in Ghana, if you've seen the pictures and the audios and the videos, there's so much attraction for you to be able to see in Ghana. And we are going to feature a few people within the next couple of videos who would want to come and share what they've got in stock for you guys. Yes, we've got people who have put together some packages, and they want to help people who want to go to Ghana. So we're going to invite them in the next few coming days. They'll come and share what they have for you. And trust me, yes, what Sikamo was saying, looking forward to meeting my descendants, relatives, Akwaba to an individual. Yes, Sikamo X, you are welcome. You have to look forward to it. We will not disappoint you. I bet you. You will not be disappointed. We are here to support. We are here to help, and we are here to encourage people to make that move. Somebody's Rosa Rostin say, that is right, brother. The communication will be good at both ends. Yes. We're going to share a link here. Join the conversation. I think that's what's missing. If we start joining this conversation, if we start talking to other Africans, if we start talking to other Ghanaians, I think that is where the power lies, because so far the conversation has been one-sided and it's always been isolated. So far, that's what I've seen. You've got the African Americans and you've got the diasporas who are within their societies, and it's good, it's working, and it's happening to them. Then you have the Africans who have also joined, we've also settled, and they've done their bit. You've got people in Europe who are doing it. You've got those in the Caribbean who are doing it. What I propose is a communal group, a communal society, where all these groups come together, start talking how we can benefit each other, because isolation doesn't work. And there is a proverb in where I come from and in Africa, and I think it's in other parts of the world, that if you take the broomstick, one stick, it is easier to break. But when you put the stick together, when you put it all together, try it, there is no way you can break it. And that is a very positive and powerful statement for you guys. Let's come together. Let's build. Let's forget about our differences. Let's forget about what we feel or we think people should have done or people didn't do. History hasn't been good to us anyway. So this is our time. This is the time that people like us, we live in Ghana, we live in Africa, and we feel that it is right for us to take this conversation to you. We are welcoming you to come so we can build together. I think this is more spiritual and more powerful than anybody think. And if people are thinking that it is maybe it's just rhetoric and we're just talking about this, no, I am having a feeling that within the next few years, there's going to be a change, and this change is going to come because people like people like myself and you that will come together will be able to build this society. And it could only happen when we are together. So yes, once again, thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for your comments. Thank you very much, Rosa. Thank you, the Tribalist. Thank you, Sycamore S. Thank you for all of you who came on today. We will bring, as I said, and we'll bring a couple of more people on the channel for them to come and talk about this, for them to come and share what they feel they can do to support anybody who wants to come back to Ghana, come back to Africa. Have a blessed day. Thank you, and see you next time. Bye-bye.